Hello, my name is Casey Monty, and this is my proposal as to why we should put iPads in our school, in our classrooms. I will be giving the presentation with my iPad, just to show you how beneficial it is for almost any type of project. My title is The iPad Project. What is the problem with not having iPads? There are numerous reasons as to why our schools need technology, but some of the most important ones consist of without using technology, students don't really play a part in learning how to use it. Technology is extremely important for almost any career, any job, any school, and sometimes even leisure. And by not giving the exposure to technology at an early age in school, it could deter a lot of kids from using that and benefiting from those skills in their future. Students are not as engaged. Students aren't really engaged all the time. Some of them just typically find class boring, or they find the content boring. So it's harder for kids to absorb information when they're not really engaged in what the teachers are talking about. And another reason is, like, although a lot of teachers would like to do the best they can to cater to every student and their learning style, it's almost just, it's kind of impossible to do that just because it's only one person, and typically there's about 20 kids in every classroom, and with just one teacher, you can't accommodate all those kids and their learning styles. So, how will iPads help bring in the solution to these problems? iPads will help by enhancing student engagement. Students are naturally gravitate towards technology, and regardless of the topic, regardless of the content, students, especially younger students, are going to be way more promoted and excited to use an iPad versus listening to a lecture on a whiteboard, which will help them absorb more information that the teacher is giving during the lessons or the assignments. iPads also help by personalizing learning. Every student is different, and they have a different learning style, as we discussed earlier. And by having these iPads, teachers can make different assignments, different lessons, different assessments to benefit the student that are hands-on, that are visual, that are more auditory, just different learning styles. By having these iPads, students will be able to benefit from those because they can choose, the lesson that benefits them, or the assignment that benefits them, where they can show what they really learned and everything. It also helps students become tech savvy. We live in a society where technology is ever growing, and technology is used for almost everything in every career. And by giving the kids the exposure to these iPads and to this technology in general early, it'll help students grasp the skill that they need and everything to have that success that they'll need later. What are the costs of implementing our iPads in schools? So the iPad itself would cost $294 per student, and for 200 students, the total comes out to $58,800. As an optional, you could buy cases, which come out to $80 per student, or $8, per student. And for 200 students, that total comes out to $1,600. That $1,600 for the cases, it is more of kind of an optional expense, just because you don't need them. But in total, and in the long run, the cases would serve as a preventative on spending any extra money on damages that could occur by dropping the iPad, playing rough with it, or not using it the way it should be used. So the cases are really, really going to be good for that. So it's an optional cost, but I think it would be very beneficial in the long run. What would the implementation of iPads look like? When it comes to the implementation of iPads in the classroom, The iPads will always stay in the classroom. This will prevent any issues about it being stolen, it being lost, it being any damages to it, which will save the school money in the long run. Every student will be assigned an iPad, so that way they have that iPad, they can use it during class, they don't have to share with someone who may have a different learning style or may not well work with others or whatever the case is. And as well as like students being, the iPad staying in class and each student being assigned one, all the teachers will be trained on how to use the iPad, how to instruct with the iPad, and how to help others understand how to use the iPad, especially the students that might struggle with it and that might not have that technology background from back home or anything. The iPads will have the apps that are needed pre-installed to the iPad, so that it prevents any students getting distracted, any students getting lost during a lesson or an assignment or anything. It'll prevent the students from downloading or using other apps when they're not supposed to as well. So yeah, what will the impact of the iPads make on the school? Overall, iPads are just going to help education. It's going to help the education of our students, the instruction of our teachers, and as a result, the overall success of our schools, which is a huge reason why I feel that the district should invest in them. Students will be able to learn in a style that fits them best, engages them, and will allow them to get the most out of lesson assignments and assessments. As the iPad provides flexibility to students. The students will also benefit from the hands-on exposure to technology and how to use it in a way that teaches them the skills they need to succeed in our ever-growing technological society, which is extremely important. As I've said, it's kind of a skill that you can't get around. You need it. In addition to the benefits of iPad in the classroom that it will provide to our students, it also helps make the most out of their instruction by providing more options of teaching styles that improves the comprehension of students. So it'll be a great option for teachers. And that is why we should use iPads like this in the classroom. Thanks for watching.